what we are going to talk about over the next few minutes is what is referred to as an elevator commercial. How many times have you been into a business where you have to go upstairs several stories and you walk into and there's an elevator and there's, let's say, 5 or 6 stories. You hit the button and you stand there and somebody else says, hey, hold the door. You hold the door and they come in and they hit another floor and you stand there in sheer silence for about 30 to 60 seconds. And you kind of look awkwardly at one another. You really don't want to say hi. They don't want to say hi to you. You just kind of stand there and then your door opens and you just leave. A missed opportunity. Because for 60 seconds, you have somebody who has to pay attention to you. They can't leave. They can't escape. You've got their direct attention. In fact, now with mobile apps and mobile phones and tablets and all of this, when you get into an elevator, it's very difficult to get reception in an elevator. With all the electricity, with all the cement, with all the metal around, it's just very difficult. So you have that opportunity to grab somebody's attention. So now, what are you going to do for 60 seconds? BRN is based upon the idea of standing up and for 60 seconds, everybody else in the room has to pay attention to you. And you give them the content of what you want to say. You give them the name. You give them the business that you're going to do. You have a need. They have the need. You have the service that's going to provide for that need. And there's a variety of businesses represented here. Lawyers, realtors, landscape, all of these different businesses. A good commercial will bring you business. That's just basics. A good commercial will bring you business. A great commercial will separate you from everybody else out there that does that exact same business that you do. How many HAVC guys are in Shawnee? How many? A lot. Quite a bit. But we know you are going to do a better job than everybody else. We understand that you're part of this group. But you have that 60 seconds to separate your business from all the other guys that are out there. What are you going to say? That's something that is very personal on a business aspect of it. I can't get up here and give you the formula on what is going to be effective means of communication for your business. You know it better than anybody else. Why? Because you're the one spending 12, 13, 14 hours a day doing your business. Nobody else puts in that much sweat, blood, and tears into making a success, but you do. You know exactly what to say. So here's the problem. You've got 60 seconds, but you've got 13 hours worth of material to say. You've got so much. It's like taking that gallon of water and trying to pour it into a glass. Yeah, it's a lot of good information, but after a while, it gets messy. That's what happens. Your mind is going, and you're trying to think, how can I communicate everything that needs to be said, and I've only got 60 seconds, and his stupid phone is ringing before I'm done. And everyone else is like, okay, your minute's up. How do you, yeah, a smartphone. His smartphone is going off. How can I limit all of this good information? That's where you come into play. Nobody else knows how to do it, but you do. That's why you can change from week to week. This week, I'm going to focus on this aspect. Next week, I'm going to focus on this aspect of it. If I'm in an elevator with that individual, I know what I'm doing there as a business. I know more than likely there's a good guess as to why they're also in that time, in that place. And you can say, are you here for this? Are you here for this meeting? Are you going to be in this location at this time? Provide that opportunity to meet a need. How do we go through all of this information clearly with a nice, crisp presentation that's clear and clean? That right there designates the difference between a good commercial, which has all the information, your name, your number, how to follow up. But if it's crisp, if it's clean, if it's clear, it will stand out. More often than not, we have a habit, just as humans, when we have all this information, we're trying to organize it. and we do what's called filler words. Now, I work with an organization called Toastmasters International. It works on public speaking, professional presentation, and it works on the basics. How do you build a business? How do you build a speech and a business? One of the things that they talk about is filler words. What you're doing is you're trying to occupy that audio space to keep control of the conversation, but you're not giving any information. And it usually comes out something like, "Hi, my name's Jason, and I want to share something with you, and I'm going to share this with you, and what have you heard? And It comes across like you have no idea what you're saying. But it's actually the opposite. You have too much to say. And you're trying to figure out, you're trying to rank, what's the highest priority here? What do I need to communicate at this time? Spending just a few minutes at the beginning of your day, what do I want to tell people when I meet them? And having in your mind, this is what I'm going to say for my 60 seconds. That will get rid of the ahs and the ums and the filler words. If I only have 60 seconds, but I spend 20 seconds going, what have I lost? 33% of the time I have allotted to get across information. Not only does filler word take care of giving us this sense of not really being clear on what we're trying to say, it takes away that time. We can sit in that elevator and we can look at those numbers and we can watch them. We can hear the ding, 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 all this other stuff, and we can rock on our feet, and we can see all of that precious time wasting away. The same thing as when you're in a conversation with somebody. If you're just sitting there kind of wasting their time going and they're not going to hear, they're not going to remember anything that you've communicated. They're going to walk away and say, "Whew, that was the longest minute in my life. That was a minute I'll never get back." And you'll walk away saying the same thing. "Oh, I had a great opportunity, and yet it slipped through my fingers." Take out the filler words. Understand exactly what you're going to share. Stand up, say your name, look them in the eye, grab their attention. This is what I do. This is what I need from you. And if you need something from me, this is how you follow up. Contact information. Phone numbers, emails, website, all of these things can be presented in a crisp and clear fashion. That you can take all of that information, all that business that you need to present to them to get that referral. Try to think of a commercial that really grabs your attention. The business world today seems to go for the narrative story. They want you to share a story. In other words, if you're going to fix somebody's heating and air, they're going to show a mom with some young kids and they're uncomfortable, and here comes the business, and he's going to get in there and he's going to save the day and bring comfort back to that home. That's the story. It's not just business, it's a need from the heart. It's grabbing their emotion. If you can have a clear sense of what your business does, you can touch the heart of the individuals. One of the 60-second commercials that we heard earlier had a very clear and distinct, this is how much money electricity costs, this is the percentage that you're wasting. If you use my programmable thermostat, you're going to save this amount of money. Great, wonderful. Statistics, numbers, here's the information. If you want to save money, and who doesn't, come talk to me. This is a perfect time of year to do that. You know why? Because I just paid my August bill. It's like, oh. That's what we want to do for each and every one of your businesses. How do you take that 60 seconds, spend time, write down, this is what I want to say. Be clear, be concise, and grab some sort of emotion that's going to reach out and have people remember you. More than anything else, that's the key for referrals, remembering who you are. How many business advertisements have you been exposed to today? Through signs, billboards, listening to on the radio, newspapers, emails. How much information have you processed today? I would say a lot. What has stood out? What makes the difference? If it grabs your attention, it will grab somebody else's attention. So take time, invest in yourself, invest in your business, be crisp, and be clear, and be concise on your 60-second elevator commercial. Thank you so much.